Hey, welcome back. So the other half is still 6.2. The video is the video number 2. And this one, the still the homework is still on this section 7 through 14 all. Make a note of it. So this is still, the origin is still the center. And now your a squared and b squared, they switches. Look, x squared, y squared, they did not switch. Still plus, a is greater than b. So now, so a is greater than b mean this number under y squared is going to be bigger than this number. So then your major axis is now y axis and the minor going to be your the x axis. So now in this case your versus going to be 0 comma plus minus b, and the end points of the minor axis is plus minus b comma 0, and your focus is now is just like y-intercept 0 comma plus minus c. We're still going to find the focus same way. C squared equals a squared minus b squared because a is greater than b. So here's a quick example. The first one, it must be equal 0, and x and y must be on the same side. It is always a plus in the middle. So we're going to move. So 4x squared, what is the opposite? It becomes plus y squared equals 64. Okay, so now it must be equal 1. So this means we're going to divide by everything by this. So then 4, so 16 times 4 is 64. So this one is x squared over 16 plus 64 will stay the same. And this is equal 1. And remember, a is always greater than b. So whichever number is bigger is always we're going to count as a. And if your a is under y, y is the major axis. And if the bigger number is under x, well then x is your major axis. So the last video. So now in this case, this is the a because a is greater than. So a is 8 square root. So how do you find the square root? So this is 8 squared is 64. And your b is 4, which is square root of 16. So very important. A is greater than b, remember. A is greater than b. Whichever the number is bigger, we are counting that one as a. So this is a square mean 8 squared. So this is the square root of 64 is 8. So now we can write all those information now first. So here is the verses. So in this case, we type of vertices of major axis. So the 0, major axis is y axis. So 0 plus minus 8. Plus minus 8. The end points of the minor axis is going to be plus minus b, which is plus minus 4 comma 0. And the foci is going to be c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So c squared equals, this one is 64 minus 16. So 64 minus 16 is 48. And then this one, the best combination here is, we can write here, c equals plus minus, what is the best combination? 16 times 3 is 48. Well, then c is going to be plus minus 4 root 3. So that is your the coordinate for the focus. So this is the focus here. Here is how to graph this one. So remember, your major axis is y-axis now. It's going to be stretching vertically. So here, plus minus, so this is 8, and this is negative 8. Well then, your minor axis is x-axis, 4, negative 4. So here is a negative 4, and this one is positive 4. Graph it. So let me try this one here. So here, look, approximately going to look like this. And these are your focus points here. This is the negative c, and this is your positive c. You can write or you can leave as is. So left hand side is the negative 4 root 3, and this one is positive 4 root 3. And that's your graph. Really easy to understand, but you have to remember all those the standard equations. Very easy to remember. Please remember for the next class too. And remember, if the a squared is under x squared, your major axis is x squared. And the second case is if your a squared is under y squared, your major axis is y axis is always going to be plus, is always going to be equal 1, and a is always greater than b. Okay, so let me show you one more example. And make sure when you do the homework, do 7 through 14 all, and which is only focusing is center at the origin. So here is one more example. For example, so here's one more. So this one is 49x squared plus 9y squared equals 441. Okay, so this one already has a plus x and y on the same side, so make sure you divide everything by 441. So now, using the calculator, this one, it will be x squared over 9 plus y squared over 49 equals 1. Okay. So now, at this point, you can just remember still the rule is a is greater than b. So which number is bigger? 49. 49 is under y. So this means your major axis is y-axis. And this time I can show you the domain and the range as well. So we are ready to write so in this case, so a is 3 because the square root of 9, I'm sorry, a is bigger, so a is 7, square root of 49, the b is 3. Because a is greater than b, whichever number is bigger, we counting that one as a. So a is 7, square root of 49 is 7, and b is 3 because square root of 9 is 3. So here is the vertices. So this one is stretching along y-axis. So this is y-intercept. So 0, comma, plus minus 7. Here is the end points of the minor axis, which is x-intercepts, which is plus minus 3, comma 0. And your focus points, so is the foci, they are c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So in this case, c squared equals 49 minus 9. So this is c squared equals 40. And 10 times 4. So in this case here, 10 4. So c equal is plus minus 10 times 4. The square root of, so c equals plus minus the square root, so it's 2 root 10. Okay. So plus minus 2 root 10. So when you write, so you're going to write 0, comma, plus minus 2 root 10. So here is the graph. So your major axis is y. So this means it's going to stretch along y-axis. So what is the first one? Is the 0, comma, plus minus 7. So here is a 7 and here is a negative 7. Those are your the vertices of the major axis. So then plus minus 3. Those are x-intercepts, which is the minor axis. So this is negative 3 and this one is positive 3. So connect them. So it's going to look like something like this. Like this. So then here is right here, there is a negative c, and this one is your positive c. You could write, well, this is going to be, this negative c going to be negative 2 root 10, and positive c going to be positive 2 root 10. Those are your focus points here, plus minus. Okay, so now here is the range. The range is range is between, look, 7 and what? -7. So -7, 7. And the domain is between 3 and -3. So -3, 3. And you're done. So we have everything. Okay, so make sure to read the directions. You have to answer everything, all the vertices of the major axis, the end points of the minor axis, the focus point, which is the foci, and the range and the domain. Okay, so make sure to do the homework. Let me know if you need help. So we have 2 more lectures after this. So let's see how far we can go. Thank you. We'll see you soon.